Welcome to This Week in Gaming for the week of February 9th, 2009. This is your weekly look at what's going to be draining your gaming dollars, or not, for the upcoming week. It may be a relatively slow week in late winter, but that doesn't mean there's absolutely nothing to pay attention to. And with that, we're off. As another addition to the Wii games nobody has ever heard of file, Deadly Creatures is the perfect addition to the library of insect fetishists everywhere. It's Mortal Kombat, but with bugs and Billy Bob Thornton. Only not. But it would probably have been cooler if it was. Basically, for most normal people, this is the game to care about this week. Psychotic cutie Alma returns to terrorize gamers once again in a sequel that has taken far too long to arrive and gone through far too much legalistic name-changing nonsense. Gamers will undoubtedly have as much atmosphere, action-packed gunplay, unnecessary acronym usage, and slow-mo as they can handle when Fear 2 finally hits shelves. Oh, and it has mechs now, apparently. Why the hell not? Because this series really needed another installment, we now have House of the Dead Overkill, proving that someone, somewhere, actually does have the desire to play this game outside of the nostalgic arcades of yore. Go figure. I hear it's a prequel to the main series. I guess the type of person who would want to play this might care about that. At least it's bound to be a better addition to the franchise than Uwe Boll's couple of gems. Reminding PSP owners that the PSP is in fact a games console that is occasionally meant to play actual games is Loco Roco 2. Cute and colorful are both pretty safe bets to describe this one. You know, if you have a PSP, you really don't need to know much about this game other than it gives you a reason to play your system again. And a potentially decent reason at that. Huh. The most fun anyone's probably going to have with this title is looking through the press release and picking out all of the meaningless marketing speak. The first ever lifestyle game for both boys and girls, My Do-It-All is an all-in-one title that gives players the ability to have fun and interact with friends through customization capabilities, mini-games, and voiceover and sound effect applications. See? It's good for both boys and girls. Lifestyle game. Who wouldn't want a piece of that action? Seriously, EA? Seriously? NASCAR just wasn't boring enough on its own, so you had to go and make a generic kart racing game out of it? How does this even make any sense? Is it still NASCAR without the NASCAR? You know, the namesake vehicle of the pseudo-sport? I'm confused. The game will feature both real and fictional drivers, too. This is only a guess, but one would have to imagine the fictional drivers couldn't possibly be any less believable than the outrageous caricatures that actually do devote their lives to driving in circles. If you need to know anything about this game other than what is in the title, you are not the target audience for this game. I could be wrong here, but this sounds a lot to me like a glorified minigame collection. Still, it looks to have a unique theme that could be worth considering for those nostalgic for the good old days of 1980s gaming, for whatever bizarre reason. I'm just gonna be honest here and admit I have no idea how to pronounce this band's name, but they're getting their own Rock Band 3-pack next week, so there you have it. God, is there really anybody left on Earth that doesn't own every Sonic game ever made 30 times over by now? When will it end? Alright, the title is a bit of a misnomer because the package includes more than just Sonic. 40 games, in fact. Still, I'd say only those who still dream in 2D need apply. Taking the first of a couple steps designed to turn the truncated Tomb Raider underworld into the full game it was supposed to be from the very beginning, is the expansion pack that no one should buy because it represents pure digital downloadable evil. Marking the approximately 11 billionth game of its type on the DS, USA Today delivers an expensive electronic version of the puzzle book you could buy for next to nothing in Barnes & Noble's bargain bin. The first time I ever heard of this game was when I read a news story comparing the Japanese 360 and PS3 box covers in terms of amount of ass flesh shown. I'm just going to go with my instincts on this one and say that's probably not a good sign. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that this is an arcade-style hockey game that features 2 teams of 3 people going at it in all-out battles for pucking supremacy. Look for it on your local download service. If the footage shown at E3 2008 was any indication, this is going to be the most ultimate tree-hugging hippie game ever released. You play as the wind. I feel hippier just saying that. So yeah, basically it comes down to whether or not you want to buy Fear 2 this week. Here's a couple of things that weren't even interesting enough to mention on this junk-filled list. Okay, fine, I couldn't think of anything interesting to say about them. Sue me. Until next week.